Welcome to Oakle's channel. Today let's talk about a game that I've talked about a few different times, but I feel like it's just like my destiny to keep talking about this game because I think I'm the only guy on YouTube who has an interest in this game or a stake in this game of sorts. And it's called Membrane. Now Membrane, we covered twice on the channel. First time was in Champion of the Cheap when it got all the way to the semifinals, or I'm sorry, the finals. Because the game only cost 9 cents. You know, for 9 cents, it was definitely worth the money. It was a good game. And then the game a few weeks or a few months ago shot up to being $250 on the eShop. It was the most expensive game the eShop has ever seen come on there. And it's probably the most expensive game that the eShop ever will have. But the game is currently on sale for $2.50. So it is massively, massively on sale. And it's on... Ooh, falling off my armrest there. But this extreme price and this extreme price cut, it's just a tactic that the developers of Membrane, that they do. And that's honestly how they've made a lot of their money. That's how this game came to be known in the world of video games in general. And so I'm not knocking them for it. I mean, it got their name known. It got their company out there a little bit. But this game just keeps coming up in the news over and over now. But not because it's like some phenomenal game. It's not a bad game, but it's like it's always in the news because of the extreme cheapness, the extreme high price, the extreme sales discounts. And Membrane, it's just an odd story. I did a little bit of research on Membrane because I was sort of curious about it at this point because I've covered it so much on the channel. And Membrane's the only Switch game that the developer has done. The developer, it's called, what is it on here? Perfect Hat Games, and Perfect Hat Games is really it's just simply a guy and his wife. It's Seth Scott and his wife Jess, and they made Membrane, and they made several other games when it comes to like on mobile platforms or just flash games. And Membrane seems to be sort of their crowning jewel from that. And I decided to check them out a little bit, and I went to their main website for their company. And the games, I mean, I scanned through some of the games. I played a few of the Flash games online, and I'll admit they're not really my style of games, but it's cool that him and his wife were just able to make games together. I've obviously played Membrane on here. It's on my channel a couple times on here. Same sheet, different day. That game was weird, and like, man, when I was playing that game, like, I don't know, like. Some of the funky mechanics of like hitting that alarm clock, and I mean, there's animation on some of the games. I even said this when I reviewed Membrane the first time. I don't really like his animations. I just don't. The games themselves are sort of fun, but the animations, I just can't get over some of the animations. So same sheet, different day falls into that category. Run naked. I mean, you're a streaker running across a football field. It's a weird little concept. And some little, sort of mobile type games, basics, little puzzle games, such as that. But I mean, their games are okay. But then like he also does like artwork on here, and some of his artwork is pretty cool stuff. I like the little NES sandwich with a piranha plant drink. But I mean, his artwork is actually pretty cool. I mean, by all means, I give Seth some credit because he's a creative guy, and I like that. His music is actually, I checked it out. I mean, it sounds like I'm stalking this fella, but I mean, like I checked his music out too, and it's honestly like pretty good music. I did the music for Membrane, which is pretty solid music, and I mean, it's on Spotify. It's not too terrible. Same thing for his videos, the press. But the only thing is, it doesn't look like Scott's really up to a whole lot anymore when it comes to putting out new games and such. And so I think their company here, their whole goal is just to take Membrane and just continually do marketing techniques to try to make money off of Membrane. I mean, that's what they did originally. When it was a $10 game, they discounted it heavily down to 9 cents. There's a article that I read about that, and it said Scott was himself was talking. He said, "We just eclipsed 100,000 sales with our last discount of 99% off. Only 1% of those sales were made when the game was at full price," which means like almost 100,000 people bought the game at 9 cents. So Scott cleared probably like close to $9,000 on this game, which is, hey, that's awesome for Scott. But I mean, the fact of the matter is that Scott and his wife, they are definitely marketing Membrane not based upon being, hey, this is a fun game to play, and we're using that to make more creative games. They're basically just saying Membrane's our main game from several years ago, And we're just going to keep doing marketing techniques such as heavily discounting it to get it back in the news and make some more sales. And that's exactly what they've done here. When they hiked up $250, Membrane was back in the news. Now they've discounted it down to $2.50. Membrane is back in the news. I mean, heck, I'm even talking about Membrane, and it's not even a game that I love. It's just a game that comes up in conversation a lot on this channel because Membrane was one of the very first videos we ever made for the channel. So it just sort of feels like a logical step to continue to talking about Membrane. But if you haven't given Membrane a try for $2.50, it's probably worth it. It's an okay game for that. It was definitely worth it for 9 cents. Definitely worth it for 9 cents. For $2.50, yeah, give it a try. Never download it for $250 though. But if you want to own the most expensive game on the eShop, now's your time. $250 for $2.50. So, but anyway, that's a little more about Membrane. And if Membrane goes back in the news again, I mean, heck, we'll throw some more some news behind it. Membrane is just simply an Ogles channel topic, and so this Ogles channel is your #1 source for Membrane news. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, go out there, find a great game to play, and just simply have a great rest of the day.